And we are now on the lesson about amicable settlement of disputes, and we will tackle about the RA 7160, or known as the Local Government Code of 1991, which expanded the scope and powers of the Katarungang Pambarangay, or the barangay justice system. So, we have right here the Katarungang Pambarangay, or the barangay justice system. It is a local justice system in the Philippines, and it is operated by the smallest of the local government units, known as the barangay, and is overseen by the barangay captain, the highest elected official of the barangay and its executive. So the barangay captain sits on the lupong tagapamayapa along with other barangay residents, which is the committee that decides disputes and other matters. They do not constitute a court as they do not have judicial powers. And we have right here the objectives of the barangay justice system. Its main strategy is for settling disputes and is to provide a venue for the disputing parties to search for a solution that is mutually acceptable. And also, another objectives is to assist the parties in discussing the possible amicable settlement of their disputes. And they do not act as judges or adjudicators of disputes, but as facilitators for the disputing parties' discussion of possible solutions. In the barangay justice system, when people have disagreement or problem, they get together with the help of someone called the facilitator. So this person doesn't decide who is right or wrong like the judge does. Instead, they help the people talk about their problem and find a solution that everyone agreed on. And that's the lupong tagapamayapa, where the head of it is the barangay captain. So here is the overview of the barangay justice system. Lawyers are not allowed to appear in the barangay hearings. Also, even if the parties in dispute are residents of the same barangay, they do not necessarily have to go through the Katarungang Pambarangay. And Section 408 of the Local Government Code enumerates the exceptions where the parties can go straight to the court or to the fiscal's office. So there is an exemption to this. So later on, we will discuss what are those exemptions wherein there's no need for you to have this settlement in the barangay. And also, if there has been an arbitration award or amicable settlement and one party does not comply, the other party can file it directly to the municipal or metropolitan trial court, a petition for the execution of such settlement or award, and that's given under Section 417. Although the Lupon has the authority to execute such arbitration award or amicable settlement, some barangay officials refuse to do so. We have to take note that when we say barangay justice system, we should not refer this one as a regular court. So there's no such thing as barangay court, and the barangay officials who compose the lupong tagapamayapa, which is a composition of 10 to 20 members, or the pangkat ng tagapagkasundo, which is composed of 3 members, they should not be treated as judges. They don't have the judicial power. The only circumstance that the lupon or pangkat acts like a court is when the time they do the mediation process or conciliation, wherein they would weigh evidence, hear testimonies coming from both parties. And the barangay justice system has 3 parts. The first one is the conciliation by the barangay captain. So this is the first step in resolving disputes within the barangay justice system. And the barangay captain, who is the elected leader of the barangay or community, plays a key role in facilitating conciliation. And the second one is the pangkat ng tagapagkasundo. If the dispute cannot be resolved through the conciliation by the barangay captain, the next step is to involve the pangkat ng tagapagkasundo or the mediation committee, which is composed of 3 members. And the last one is the lupong tagapamayapa. And if conciliation and mediation efforts fail, the dispute may be referred to lupong tagapamayapa or the barangay justice council. And we have right here the history of Katarungang Pambarangay. So in 1978, President Ferdinand E. Marcos enacted the PD 1508, and that's a law wherein it established a system of amicably settling disputes at the barangay level without the need to resort to judicial resources to promote the speedy administration of justice. So it's a law wherein a time-honored tradition of amicably settling disputes among family and barangay members at the barangay level without judicial resources. And we have the Batas Pambansa bilang 337 or the 1983 Local Government Code. So it was a significant piece of legislation in the Philippines that reorganized the structure of LGUs in the country. And this was during the time of former President Marcos, and it aimed to decentralize power from the national government to local government, allowing for more autonomy and self-governance at the local level. And we have right here Alfredo Flores Tadiar. He was the principal author of the PD 1508. And for 12 years, he was a member of the Committee of Consultants, Bureau of Local Government Supervision. He was regarded as the father of alternative dispute resolution in the Philippines for the sole reason that he is the author of the PD 1508. Under this decree, the body was known as Lupong Tagapayapa, but right now under RA 7160, it's now known as Lupong Tagapamayapa. And we have the Katarungang Pambarangay. So the PD 1508, it was repealed by RA 7160. So here are some of the concepts that we can encounter on this law. When we say barangay, it only not refer to barrios which were declared barangays by virtue of PD 557, but also to barangays, otherwise known as citizens' assemblies, pursuant to PD 86. And when I say barangay captain, it refers to barangay captains or the head of the barrios which declared barangay by virtue of PD 557, and to the chairman of barangays, otherwise known as citizens' assemblies, pursuant to PD 86. And the Katarungang Pambarangay, the Supreme Court issued Administrative Circular Number 1493 on July 15, 1993, directing the courts to ensure compliance with the requirement of prior recourse to the barangay justice as a condition for filing a complaint in court for cases that are covered by the system. And we have right here the institution of the Lupon. In Katarungang Pambarangay, it's the important system in the barangay. Its main aim is to decongest courts. And this is a salient part of the barangay's function to promote peace and harmonious relationship among community members. And with this question, is it only the Punong Barangay who has the authority to constitute Lupon? Well, the answer to this one is that yes, it's just the Punong Barangay or the barangay chairman, barangay captain can only appoint the Lupon members. So it is his or her exclusive prerogative. No need for approval from other barangay officials or other persons. It's the discretion of the Punong Barangay. What if the Punong Barangay fails to organize Lupon? Well, this is the answer to that question. He or she can be charged of neglect of duty and be subjected to administrative sanctions. And we have right here the section 399. So the Lupong Tagapamayapa is hereby created in each barangay, which is composed of 10 to 20 members, wherein its head is the barangay chairman or barangay captain, and they shall be constituted every 3 years. And also the Lupong Tagapamayapa, it could be any person actually residing or working in the barangay, as long as it's not expressly disqualified by law, and that person possesses integrity, impartiality, independence of mind, sense of fairness, and reputation for probity. So they can be appointed if they do have that character. When we say probity, it's like a quality of having strong moral principles, like honesty and decency. So if you try to check right here the qualifications, it does not says right here that you need to be a college graduate, or it does not specify what is the educational attainment um, for you to be a member of the Lupong Tagapamayapa. And the Lupong Tagapamayapa, a notice to constitute the Lupon, which shall include the names of proposed members who have expressed their willingness to serve, shall be prepared by the Punong Barangay within the first 15 days from the start of his term of office. And such notice shall be posted in 3 conspicuous places. We say conspicuous, it should be posted on those clearly visible places in the barangay for a period of not less than 3 weeks. And when it comes to the constitution of Lupon, we have right here the appointment of Lupon is the sole prerogative of the barangay captain. So it does not need any approval or confirmation of the barangay council. And just to summarize, if ever the barangay captain fails to constitute the Lupon, he can be charged for neglect of duty and be administratively liable. When to constitute the Lupon? So that is within 15 days from the start of the term as barangay captain, he or she should issue a notice to constitute the Lupon and prepare the list of names of proposed Lupon members. So as what I've said, the composition of the Lupong Tagapamayapa is minimum of 10 and maximum of 20 members. So who are qualified to be members of the Lupon? So these are the qualifications. Anybody who is an actual resident or working in the barangay of legal age and possesses the following qualities. And this is what we've discussed previously. So this is the qualification. Qualified as Lupon members if you are an actual resident of legal age and you have the quality, a strong moral quality. And you are disqualified to be Lupon member if you're below 18 years of age, because 18 years of age, that is the legal age here in the Philippines. If you are regarded as incompetent, then you cannot be a Lupon member. And if you are convicted of a crime carrying with it penalties of perpetual or temporary disqualification from holding public office, then you are also not qualified to be a Lupon. And if you're an elected government official, let us say you're an SK chairman, SK kagawad, you cannot be a member of a Lupon. And if you're also an active member of the armed forces who is in active service, you cannot also be a member of the Lupon. And the term of office, it's 3 years term, unless terminated. And by death, resignation, transfer of residence or place of work, withdrawal of appointment by the barangay captain, or however, the withdrawal should be concurred with the majority of all members of Lupon. So just to highlight, the term of being a Lupon member is 3 years. So these are the disqualifications if you're below 18 years of age, if you're incompetent and you're convicted of a crime, and if you're holding a public office. So this is what we've discussed previously. So when it comes to the compensation and benefits, the Lupon member shall serve without compensation. So if the barangay has enough funds, they will just be given honoraria. And these are the steps to take after identifying the 10 to 20 members of the Lupon. So the secretary, who is also as the concurrent secretary of the Lupon, shall prepare a notice to constitute the Lupon using KP Form 1. So this is what a KP Form 1 looks like. So it's a notice to constitute the Lupon. So this is being prepared by the barangay secretary. The Punong Barangay, taking into consideration any opposition to the proposed appointment or any recommendations for appointment as may have been made without the period of posting, shall within 10 days thereafter. But still, it is the sole prerogative of the barangay captain to appoint a Lupon. And appointment shall be in writing using KP Form 2 duly signed by the Punong Barangay and attested to by the barangay secretary. So this is what a KP Form 2 looks like. So the newly appointed Lupon members will immediately take their oath before the barangay captain using KP Form 5. This is what a KP Form 5 looks like, or this is a sample of that form. After their oath to office, what does the Lupon do next? Or what does the Punong Barangay do? So the list of appointed Lupon members shall be posted in 3 strategic and highly visible places in the barangay. And the list of appointed members shall be posted in 3 conspicuous places in the barangay for the entire duration of their term of office. So it should be clearly visible. And in barangays where majority of the inhabitants are members of the indigenous cultural communities, local systems of settling disputes through their councils of datus or elders shall be recognized without prejudice to the applicable provisions of a code. And when it comes to the oath and term of office, upon appointment, each Lupon member shall take an oath of office before the Punong Barangay, and he shall hold office until a new Lupon is constituted on the 3rd year following his appointment, unless sooner terminated by resignation, transfer of residence or place of work, or withdrawal of appointment by the Punong Barangay with the concurrence of a majority of all members of the Lupon. So just to summarize, a Lupon member will have a term of office for 3 years. And these are the 6 steps to constitute the Lupon. First one, you have to determine the actual member of Lupon. You have to have this composition of 10 to 20 members. You have to check the qualifications of being a Lupon. After that, you prepare a notice to constitute the Lupon. Step 3, you post a notice to constitute the Lupon in 3 strategic or conspicuous places. And step 4, after posting and you've already decided the members for the Lupon, then here comes the appointment of Lupon members. After the appointment, there is an oath taking of Lupon members, and the next one is the posting of the Lupon members. So what is the term of office of each Lupon member? We've discussed this. They shall serve for 3 years unless they are terminated unless they're terminated by death, resignation, transfer of residence, or place of work, or withdrawal of appointment by the barangay captain. And this is an example of the KP Form 6. It's a withdrawal of appointment by the barangay captain. So are the Lupon members entitled to some compensation? Do they have benefits due to them? So we've discussed this, that they don't have any salary or compensation. They will just receive honoraria if the barangay have that. So the Lupon members shall serve without any compensation. If the barangay has enough funds, they can be given an honoraria. Good to hear. At least their commitment and services are more or less compensated. Where can we source other funds for the Lupon operations aside from barangay funds? We can always ask the municipal government for some allocation regarding the operations of Lupon and include it in its annual budget. So we have right here section 401, which talks about the vacancies. Should a vacancy occur in the Lupon for any cause, the Punong Barangay shall immediately appoint a qualified person who shall hold office only for the unexpired portion of the term. So let us say a Lupon member has been terminated due to resignation and he had already served 1 year. So if there is a qualified person, he will just serve for 2 years because the term of office for Lupon is 3 years. And these are the functions of the Lupon. You will exercise administrative supervision over the conciliation panels provided therein, and you have the responsibility that you will meet regularly. So that's once a month, and its purpose is to provide a forum for exchange of ideas among its member and the public on matters relevant to amicable settlement of disputes, and to enable various conciliation panel members to share with one another their observations and experiences in effecting speedy resolutions of disputes, and also to exercise such other powers and perform such other duties and functions as may be prescribed by law or ordinance. And we have section 403, which talks about the secretary of the lupon. The barangay secretary shall concurrently serve as the secretary of the lupon. So her or its main responsibility, he or she shall record the results of mediation proceedings before the punong barangay and shall submit a report thereon to proper city or municipal court. Basically, the barangay secretary will do the documentation. So he shall also receive and keep the records of the proceedings submitted to him by the various conciliation panels. If there will be cases presented to me in the barangay, how can I help in resolving it? So as punong barangay, you have an authority or power to mediate cases of the residents in your barangay. And also as a barangay captain, you have a responsibility to do the conciliation. And what if only one of the involved parties is from one barangay? So as a barangay captain, this is what you need to do. The dispute will be settled in the barangay where the respondents or one of the respondents reside at the choice of the complainant.